Let's hope for better things this time. Red lights go out. The race gets underway. A slowish stop, but not as bad as the first time round from Ed Pither. It's Cowley that's got the lead. Twynham again looks to have gone around the outside of him. Is level pegging with Cowley into Redgate corner. Almost a little brush between them, but it's Cowley that's got the lead from Twynham in second place. And I think Pither in third position as they head through Hollywood for the first time. Down Craner curves they go for the first time. It's Pither that's got his way up into second place, then Twynham I think, and then in fourth place it's the 35 car of David Winter, the race kits.
It kind of feels like it might be difficult for Bill Cowley to keep Ed Pither at bay, the lap record holder here at Donington Park in 750 Formula Racing. That car's very strong everywhere really, and the PRS is alongside Bill Cowley, but Bill Cowley is going to make this difficult, I'm sure, as difficult as he can for Ed Pither to take the win. Pither was one of the drivers that was excluded from the earlier race, which puts a dent in any championship hopes he may have had. But Cowley leads down towards the chicane. He's going to try to defend in that Mark IV Cowley, as he described earlier, designed originally back in the 1960s. And indeed, if Ed Pither is going to go past, he's going to have to do it the hard way in.
Certainly is, and it's going to be a great battle between these two. Different sizes and shapes of car, but with similar underpinnings, and they're both running the same engine. This car has been running for more than 10 years now, the PRS, and Pither's gone through into the lead here now, and he's taken the lead away from Bill Cowley. He looked relatively easy that at Redgate Corner, but the car's been a championship winner in the hands of David Bartholomew in the past, in 2015 and 2024, but Pither hasn't always done the sort of full seasons necessary to claim the title in his own right. But he's got the lead now away from Bill Cowley. We'll see what Bill Cowley can do by way of a comeback here.
Yeah, I don't think Cowley expected him to come down the inside there at Redgate, did he? Because he didn't defend, and that means he's lost the lead. And here the PRS just is the quicker car. The Pither Robbery Special then leads the way in the hands of Ed, and he is pulling clear of Bill Cowley. Matt Twynham going with them in the multiple championship winning Derby. David Winter just dropping away a little bit. He had those problems in the earliest race in the race kits Merlin, but Winter certainly made that car go better than we've ever seen before. We saw that podium from him at Croft at the end of last season, and he's got the pace to have more of those this year, it would seem. So Ed Pither up across the line to complete the second lap. There's a 1 minute 19.1 compared to Cowley's 1 minute 20.2, but Twynham's quicker than Cowley, so Bill Cowley might again be having attentions from those behind, because Matt Twynham is with him. David Winter is dropping away in fourth.
He is about 3 seconds or so behind the top three, but he's then got about 3 seconds back to Jake Doherty, who's in fifth position. Chris Goff is in sixth. Pither now about a second away in the lead of the race, I would have thought. I think the battle here could be on for second position, because Twynham has taken time out of Cowley on the third flying lap of the race, or the third lap of the race I should say. So we'll see if Twynham, in a car that's new to him for this weekend, can get past Bill Cowley. He's been racing this car on and off for about 13 or 14 years I think. He had a bit of a break to go bike racing a few years ago, but has returned successfully with second in 2024 and the win in 25. Now someone's gone off
Twynham,
the gravel truck there.
Yeah, Matt Twynham looked like he had a moment, and it must have been him, because he's not behind Bill Cowley any longer. So he was trying to go with Cowley there, wasn't he? And it just went a little bit wrong at Coppice, and he's stuck in the gravel too.
Oh dear. So Twynham, wheels are spinning. He's not going to go anywhere though, I don't think. Try and get the marshals down to him. Yeah, he's frustrated, as well he might be. Probably just pushed a little bit too hard there to try and take the fight to Bill Cowley, still inexperienced in this particular car. Now here's a battle going on. That's Conway Door, number 12.
Remember, he started at the back of the grid, and he's well inside the top 10 now.
Yeah, he's up to 7th place, made up another 2 places on that lap. He's got past Mark Glover.
All 3 of them are pretty much side by side. He and Matthew Unwin here. Here they are, all 3 abreast into Redgate Corner. Glover looks up on the outside, but Door has done it, hasn't he? He's up into 7th position. So this is a really good effort from Conway Door, the driver from Cambridgeshire, former Class B champion in 750 Formula.
Yeah, marshals have said we're not going to be able to shift that, I'm afraid, so they're going to need to get a snatch vehicle in to assist with the recovery of Matt Twynham's car. But yeah, real race kits battle that was, wasn't it, that we saw going into Redgate a few moments ago, as the safety car has now been scrambled to nobody's great surprise. So third safety car of the day in the 750 Motors Club Raceparts 750 Formula Championship races.
Yeah, had some interruption in qualifying too, didn't they? So it's been a problematic day really for 750 Formula, which is a shame really for all involved.
It's the issue, isn't it, when you get cars stuck in the gravel trap like that, especially right on the edge of the circuit, you can't leave that there. So we do need to have, in this case, some outside intervention, because the marshals did try their hardest to shift it, but were unable to do so. It's a great shame for Matt Twynham, of course. He was second in the earlier race, and you know, he'd have been thinking, oh, it could be a championship contender here, and still he might be, but this is an early setback that he didn't need. It's a 12-round championship, and drivers drop their two lowest scores at the end of the season. So it could be one of his drops, but it means he's sort of can't really afford too much to go wrong for the rest of the year now. I think you can, I mean, I don't know if Edpeth is going to do all of the rounds this year. He's going to be tough to beat. Bill Cowley, providing his car is reliable, he's going to be there or thereabouts, isn't he? He was very consistent last season. He was on the podium 9 times out of 12 races.
It was such a close conclusion to that championship, wasn't it, up at Croft, I think, on that wet weekend in September, where it was just a point, I think, wasn't it, at the end of the season between he and David Reed. Yeah,
not much at all between them, and David Reed, I think, probably lost out to Bill Cowley in the end because of Bill's greater experience in wet weather conditions there. Yeah, Reed was very close behind him. Really, actually, for part of the season, it was a three-way fight, because Mark Windley, in the car that Twynham is now driving, or is now being pulled out of the gravel trap, was the sort of third protagonist in what was a good battle. Windley was out of the blocks fast last season with a couple of wins at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, David Reed is registered for the championship, so hopefully we'll see him later on this year. And we'll see Mick Harris out in that remodelled Derby that is here at Donington Park today, but hasn't been able to take the start of the races. So you've got a couple of drivers we hope to see later in the year, and for overall victories there are several clubmen that are registered to have races later, including Dave Face, who I think did race in this championship, didn't he, a decade or so ago. He's going to be out in a Mallock later in the year. And we've seen Robin Dorr take victories overall in a clubman's car before. And they're very evenly paced, aren't they, to these 750 Formula machines? Different speed in different parts of the lap, perhaps. But
yeah, it was at Silverstone last year, which is the next event of the season, where the clubman's car of Robin Dorr did go well and take overall victories. And that pleases a circuit that's more well suited to the 1600 cross-flow engined cars. After Silverstone, they go to Anglesey at the end of June, Cadwell Park in July, Snetterton at the end of August, and Mallory Park to conclude their season. Safety car's going to do, I think, probably one more lap as it goes past our commentary position now.
And how racy Cowley's going to be here on the restart. I think he's going to have to pass pretty quickly if he's going to have any chance. His best lap was about a second and a half off of Pivers, who in turn is about a second and a half off his own lap record, so he's got a little way to go to that. A lap time was set about a decade ago, I think.
Probably going to be 3 laps, isn't it, I would think?
For third it's going to be challenging, because Dean Gorolini is between Cowley and Winter, so for third they're all going to be bunched up a bit here, I'd imagine. Yeah,
Dean Gorolini, 52-year-old black cab driver. Shares the car with his son Joe, started racing last season in 750 Formula. Bought the car off Jason Chatham 2 years ago. Prepares the car himself.
Martin Kemp's going well here, isn't he, in 5th place. Martin, who's in his 70s now, but going really well today. Started racing the championship back in 1986. Of course, it was him and his son Andrew that designed these race kits that we have several of on the grid, and they've been an important addition, I guess, really to the championship, haven't they? The Falcons and the Merlin, because that's a quarter of the grid, something like that, are made up by their cars. They don't, I don't think, produce a car themselves anymore, but the designs are available for those who want to use that setup.
Yeah, Martin, back in Class B for this season. As we said, Class B is about affecting the specification of the driver rather than the car, and people who've had success in previous seasons, or indeed in the current season, if they finish inside the top 3, are not eligible for Class B points. So it looks like we could get about 4 minutes or so of racing, I think, here.
There may be a big gap between second and third.
I think there may be, so we'll enjoy the battle for the win and possibly the battle for third place as well. No fault of Dean Gorolini at all, but it's just how it has panned out that he's in between second and third place cars. So safety cars pulling in, leaders coming up to the line with just over 4 minutes to go. Green flag is waved. Time, I think, for probably maybe even arguably 4 laps. We'll see just how quick they go on this outlap, but it's Pither leading, number 17. Cowley 77 is in second place. They've cleared Gorolini, who's keeping to the right hand side of the circuit. It's Jake Doherty that's made a pretty decent restart, because he was around the outside of David Winter, wasn't he, for third position into Redgate Corner?
Yeah, I think he read the situation well. He realised what was going to happen there on the restart. Neither of them could pass Gorolini till they went after the line, and Jake Doherty had the momentum. Not sure if he was able, though, to keep that pace around the outside to grab the place. We shall see a bit in a bit, but it is Pivot from Cowley for the lead through McLean's Corner. They go, and Cowley's pushing on. He's trying his best here to take it to Ed Pivot. They go through Coppice Corner for the 7th time in this race with 3 minutes on the clock. Yeah, Cowley's still there in the slipstream, and we heard from Matt Twynham earlier how strong Cowley is through the chicane. So what can Bill Cowley do here? It might be sort of last opportunity to have a go at Ed Pivot. He goes through the right and left of the Robert chicane. The car moving around under him, but I don't think he's going to be close enough, is he, to challenge Ed Pivot down at Redgate Corner.
No, he's just pretty lacking the straight line speed there. Meanwhile, it's Winter that has come through ahead of Doherty for third place, and they're about a second and a half clear of Kemp as well, who is 5th, and Chris Goff, who is 6th. But yeah, the lead 2 now spreading out. There were 6/10 between them over the line. It's more like a second or so now between Pivot and Cowley.
Alan Bunter in the Sharks got into 10th, and he's the 6th fastest person on the circuit. So that's the best we've seen Alan go in that car. He was a driver that won Class B last year, but I don't think we've seen that overall pace quite as strong as that before, so that's really good to see. See if he can make any more progress. He's just behind a double former champion in Mark Glover.
Yeah, absolutely. Glover, the champion in 2018 and 2019 in the Race Kits Falcon, did low-cost racing before that as well. Big gap, isn't it, from second to third? There is that 5th place car, Martin Kemp.
He's going with a 2 ahead.
He is. I say, 2.5 behind at the beginning of this lap. That's coming down, I think. There's Jake Doherty, the 25-year-old senior greenkeeper from West Drayton. Started racing in 2022. 2023 Class B champion he was.
He was right at the sharp end of that big battle at Thruxton last year. No, there was smoke. There was smoke in the Kemp car coming into the hairpin, and something failed on the car that's made him spin. That's a real shame for Martin Kemp, because he was going so well. But that continues to emit from the back of the car. I hope it's not dropping anything on the road, but it's not going to be a 5th place finish, I'm afraid, for Martin Kemp now.
Doesn't look like it, does it? It's Chris Goff and Conway Dawes that have both gone through ahead of others now as well, I think.
So Alan Bunter, I think, is going to be 7th now in the Shark. We're not sure if it will be his best result overall, but certainly against the competition today, I think that's the best we've seen from that machine. So should we get another lap at the end of this? I was going to say, I think we could do, yes, because there was a minute 23 and a bit to go when Pivot started this lap, and he's lapping in 118s, 119 kind of territory. So we could get one more lap at the end of this one. Kemp's car looks problematic still.
Yeah, he won't want another lap, will he? I don't think.
change ahead of him. Conway Dorr up to 5th from the back of the grid, so that's a great effort from Conway Dorr in the ex Ian Barley race kits. So he's up to 5th. That might be as far as he gets though.
Kemp's got his hand in the air now. I think he's realised he's going to have to pull in at the end of this lap. The clock has counted down to 0, but Pither did get through to start a final lap of the race. He is 2.7 seconds clear now, though, of Bill Cowley, and Dean Govellini has retired as well by the looks of it in the number 88 car.
So 5th place, yeah. Dorr comes up across the line now, ahead of Chris Goff. And then it should be Alan Bunty up into 7th place, as we thought.
As we're watching Ed Pither exit the old hairpin for the final time now in a pretty comfortable position. He was not included in the results of race 1, but he's looked like he's going to come back with a victory here in race 2, first of the season. So he's won quite a few races over the years. I'll have to check exactly how many that is and how many the car has won, because David Bartholomew has won several times with this car. It'll be one of the more successful cars in the history of 750 Formula, I would think.
Sort of the car of the last decade, isn't it?
Yes, it has been. And if you get the right driver and car combination, then it's pretty well sorted. Oil flags are out, I could see, which might be something to do with Martin Kemp. But up to the line comes Ed Pither. He takes the checkered flag. Ed Pither wins round 2 of the 2026 Raceparts 750 Formula Championship by 2.5 seconds from Bill Cowley in 2nd place.
That last lap was very slow, so I think the track might be a bit contaminated.
Yes, I think it could well be. David Winter takes 3rd, Jake Doherty 4th. Jake was slow, much slower on the final lap, didn't lose a position.
So is everyone else. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. So there may be some circuit dressing to be done after this race before the next one. There's Thomas Llewellyn coming through in the 58 car. He's going to take 8th place, I think it is, in the end. He's got ahead of Matthew Unwin on the final lap.
Class B win, so the ADR's going well today, isn't it? It had to start from the pit lane, I think, for some clutch problems, I presume. But it's going the best that's gone for the former Indian touring car racer, Tom Llewellyn.
Let's have a look at the results of the Raceparts 750 Formula Championship race. Ed Pither it was that took the win in the PRS 1B after 10 laps of safety car interrupted racing. 77 Bill Cowley, behind number 17 in 2nd place, 2.5 seconds drift. 3rd was number 35 David Winter, 4th number 3 Jake Doherty, 5th number 12 Conway Dorr. Chris Goff in number 2 was 6th. Alan Bunter 28 was 7th. Our Class B winner was Thomas Llewellyn, as Josh was saying, and the ADR in 8th place, number 58. Running out the top 10, number 4 I should say, Matthew Unwin in 9th, and number 14 Mark Luffy in 10th. And Peter Higton, Simon Bolton, Hugh Davis. Peter Portney Hackett was 14th in number 99 in his Mallet, the classic Clubman's car, and I think he was probably the last driver to make it to the checkered flag.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're down here very, very quickly with Ed. You had a bit of an issue in the first race, a bit of redemption for the second.
Yeah, it wasn't great at all. I was actually really grateful to the rest of the field. They didn't pile into the back of me in the first race, but yeah, it stalled in the first race. Not the best start in the second race, but good enough that I managed to get going and had a bit of a good race with Bill, and then I managed to get a bit of clearance, and it was good.
Absolutely. Well, here the cars are revving, so I'm going to have to go, but congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. Back to you guys.